Yep, I'm recording and you guys are
Nice.
live.
Nice,
Cool.
that's awesome. And so you're using OBS to record, Katie?
I
Yeah.
am, yeah.
So sweet. Excellent. Um, so this is what we have going on here with the gear craziness. I'm actually using one of the Samsung controller to get around here, but we definitely encourage people to use the teleport mechanic um, to get around the space, which is cool.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the teleport. I like how easy it is to sort of rotate too, and that feels comfortable.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, we've run through a couple iterations of what we would like the input to be, and what kind of felt good, and we're still making some progress there. Um, it's,
Teleported around the room really quickly.
yeah, you're just teleporting around the world. I'm like, yeah, where is it? And as you can see, the menu is a little simplified for the Gear VR, but we have some important stuff in there. Emojis are definitely there, so I can get my happy face on. Yeah, or get my love on. Oh, I love you guys. Oh. So that's all in, able to mute the mic. And then other than that, when you click on the AltspaceVR logo, it always pops up on your lower left when you teleport, so you don't lose it. Um, and that will basically show you the UI. We've simplified the UI as well across the board for everybody. We have the kind of the home is kind of showing you the what's going on in AltSpace now to give you kind of a list of spaces, but also it'll pop up with events that are happening like right now, so you can kind of go where the action is, which I think is very important. The engineers have been, I mean, we've definitely been I think as a company heads down for most of the working on gear. I think it's been a major initiative to make sure that hey, we're working on gear, that gear is cross-platform, and it's almost in every respect as good as an experience as you can get compared to the desktop clients, as far as the feeling of being in the same space and seeing the same thing. And there are some caveats. It's mobile. There's performance hits you have to take. For example, in this room, normally over there's a mirror if you're on desktop, or like Vive or Oculus will see a mirror, and that's something that didn't make the cut for gear. So the fidelity of the environment to be a little bit different. But the essential things, the communication, seeing the avatars, whether they're using Leap, Connect, or Perception Neuron, getting the full experience there, the voice, the audio, all of that, absolutely there. And that's kind of where it is now. But again, everything's a work in progress, I think, with AltSpace. And you can also
Well,
change your look, your avatar. So,
nice. Yeah, so there's Oculus Social, there's Daydream Blue and the Gear VR, and Oculus Social, you're sitting there watching a Vimeo video or a Twitch stream, and it kind of gets old because you're just watching. You only got a limited list of things that you can sort of do with somebody else, and then there's Daydream Blue where there's some cool things you can do by a lake there. But not many people really know about those social features, and right now it's only Gear VR to Gear VR. So you guys are on every platform. I was just talking to someone that's on a desktop over there, just looking at a 2D screen, and then you've got obviously the DK2. You've been testing stuff with Vive, and then here we are on a mobile phone. I'm on a mobile phone right now. You're on a mobile phone, and we're feeling like we're in
yes.
this awesome space together. That's just awesome. But what sort of things can we do together in here that will sort of keep me in here for longer?
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up. Yeah, the cross-platform definitely very important for us, being able to connect on a variety of devices, and then that issue of all right, we get over the novelty of being together in VR, which is cool within itself, but what are we doing after? And so part of the answer to that question is that we're hosting a lot of events. We've been kind of going hard on that even lately. I mean, we've always had that focus, but events. We want stuff for people to do, to come out and check out, and that's heavily on our side until we have some things in the works to have tools for users to form their own communities and build their own communities around AltSpace, do their own events, right? Enable users, and we have some of that stuff in to some extent, but that's still early on. But so a lot of the burden we're taking on is ourselves. Let's make sure to have some cool stuff for people to attend and check out. And one example is Sketchy Quiz, one of the things that is kind of cool. So let's actually go to the Sketchy Quiz space now. Oh, nice. Some nice jazz just popped up. Watch out. All right. Get down, playing the chess. Ooh. All right. So, yeah, what you should see is the chessboard here. This is our SDK. So this entire chessboard, the chess pieces and everything, it's a web page. It's a URL. It's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this is one of the SDK examples, actually. So very simple interface, but it's basically, have this game interface where I'm able to, kind of play a pickup game with a friend. And just like you probably saw before, this little chess app in AltspaceVR, it doesn't have any rules to it. It's just kind of free form, as if there was just some chess pieces, giant chess pieces out in the park that you would play with and mess around with.
So if I want to mess with your pieces, I can, right?
Yeah, I could be like, hey, what's this? What's going on there? Oh man,
we can have a nice little virtual argument over the rules of chess.
Exactly. It's like, I read that rooks can do this, bro. So I don't know what chess you read, but in my reality, that's the way chess works. So, and we see, like,
I guess that's the way it should be, right?
yeah, and we see more natural interactions kind of end up coming out of that. Yeah, which is a little interesting. Where we're like, people are just kind of playing, and there'll be a person that'll be in the background looking, or maybe someone to move a piece and be like, double take, hey, what piece did you move? And you end up doing like, kind of a double take thing, like, I moved this from here to here, this from here to here, this is what I did, this. So it's just, we're kind of experimenting, throwing that against the wall, like how, let's kind of look at this paradigm of toys, things for just people to interact with and as if they were out in the public park or out in the public space. And then there's some things that are a little more structured as well. But we're just trying a bunch of things. So this is one of the things that we have for you to do. Like hey, there's going to be lots more apps. We already have a developer initiative program, $150,000 set aside. Talking with developers already, they're building stuff with us and for us. So that's really exciting. So it's one of those things where you'll have lots of different options. It might be air hockey, it might be chess, it might be a game of D&D, or a lot of various things that you'll be able to pick up on and play together with other people on a variety of different platforms and have that experience.
How many hours do you think you've spent in AltSpace, like total to date, like with headset on, not with the 2D monitor?
Oh my gosh. Wow, I wish we had a log. I have no idea. It definitely is in the hundreds, I would say. Yeah.
Of hours?
It's
just like you've spent...
Yeah, it's definitely in the hundreds.
You've spent days then?
Oh yeah, well, without a doubt. Like, I think the very, very first tabletop role-playing prototype, the D&D prototype we had, that was off of an internal game jam. I mean, we did a game... I ran a game for that very, very early alpha of it, basically. But I had 6 people in there, and that game lasted 6 hours. And I've run a variety of D&D games in VR 6 hours at a time. So there's been a number of those. Just like that's a chunk right there. And then there's just doing support, checking things out, seeing what's going on, and testing. I mean, a lot of what goes on is like, hey, I have this new build. I mean, we're really informed with that in AltSpace. They're like, hey, there's this new build, this new thing. Can someone check it out? And usually I'm like, hey, yeah, let's jump in and check that out. See how this thing looks in VR. So we do a lot of iteration there. So a lot of VR time. Yeah, a lot of VR hours for AltSpace.
Well, and since you've got, I mean, I know you're trying to do cross-platform and you've got all the different systems, like, is it a different experience for you to, put on a Vive and kind of walk around a space? And do you feel more present when you're doing that?
I would say to a certain extent, yes. Like, because Vive, I mean, when you have the room experience Vive, and it's it's cool. I mean, you still have the teleport system, which works well because it's teleporting your entire relative area, right? But you still, within that local area that you teleport to, you're able to physically walk around one-to-one, and that's entirely very, very comfortable. But also, you start to do these kind of very normal social things where you kind of select the kind of spot you want to stand as, pardon me, as a part of the conversation. I'm the moderator of Sketchy Quiz. I'd be on stage. Like, yeah, what's up, people? And I can choose to view any one person's drawing, so if I want to see what you drew over there, I should be able to click and actually have whatever you drew on pop up if you've drawn anything, or the thing that I drew over there at the first easel. I can switch it and we can look at that thing. And then from here, I can assign or subtract points. So I love it. So I'm going to give you some points here. Where is that? Points? What took 2 points? Oh. Okay, maybe points aren't working on here. No! I want some points. Oh, there we go. Someone got some points.
I gotta make a smiley face.
There we go. Now that's better. So this is kind of the gist, where I can ask a question like, what was the name of that crazy VR movie with Pierce Brosnan? And then you would draw a lawnmower and a man, and I would give points based on who drew the best lawnmower and the best man, and subtract points for people that got it wrong and make fun of them.
I love how, you guys are still, you're still clearly building out this basic metaverse. I mean, we talked about this at one point, right, where your dream is Ready Player One, right? You want to build the clubhouse. I mean, you think you're going to have that this year? Is 2016 the year the clubhouse is ready to go?
Yeah, I don't think it's the year. I think it's really, we're doing stuff like this. I think as a company, we've really shifted to use cases, cool stuff, user-facing stuff. What kind of things are people going to want to do, and experiment with that? Because we've been spending a lot of time building infrastructure, optimizing, making sure the platform is really solid. And now we're really at this phase where we're like, we're still, I mean, we take for granted that because VR's been around in our little VR bubble for a while that, oh yeah, this stuff is cool and this stuff is not, but we really still don't have a really solid idea of exactly what people are going to want to do in VR, right? And what things are going to take off. And so it's been a lot of throwing stuff at the wall with the improv and the VR comedy and the tech talks and the sketchy quiz stuff, and there'll be more stuff to pop up that we're just going to see, like, what do people gravitate to, what can we double down on and make really awesome, and what kind of things can we do to enable users to make those things. So I don't know if 2016 is going to be the year for that. I mean, I think definitely it's a dream to be able to make that kind of HS basement scenario where I have my corner of AltspaceVR. I can, I have all the tools I need to make my corner of AltspaceVR, invite anyone I got.
We're definitely getting random users coming in. During this interview, there's a guy behind just looking around. You're like, where am I?
Hey, robot. Hi there. How weird it is to just have suddenly robots. Hey.
I'm a friendly
Can you
robot.
hear me?
Yeah, definitely.
So I think I lost Bruce, and so I thought I was
looks like
lost,
you did.
but I think. Okay. So I'm still here, and we're still here, but Bruce is gone.
I'm still here too.
Okay. I love how it's crazy. I mean, there's a robot in here. There's people warping in and out of space. I mean, it's just virtual reality is strange, right? That's the moral of the story.
Speaking of which, yep. Hey, Nick.
Yep. Hey. I don't know what the audio quality is like with the microphone that I'm using, but
No, you sound great.
Sounds good. Good.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
I love that. How's your video going, Katie?
It's going great. It's capturing all of this.
It's hard to explain how strange virtual reality is. Like, I got my parents in the other room, right? And I told them, I'm going into virtual reality to do an interview, right? And I don't think they quite understand what that means.
Yeah, you're sitting in a virtual speakeasy with two robots.
You know, I had a recent experience where I had my parents in VR on a couple of DK2s, and they were in the same house but on the other side, and they spent about 5 minutes. They had a Leap motion capture system on the front of it, so there was some hand articulation and rendering in the space, and they stood for 5 minutes just touching each other's fingertips in VR. It was awesome.
My dad, when I first put my... Hi, nice to meet you. I mean, when I first put my dad in the headset, he's like, yeah, if this improves, $2 billion will be a bargain. And here we are. I'm actually interacting with other people in VR. It's been like, I don't know, 9 months or a year since I first put them inside VR, and it's just incredible the rate at which we're accelerating and getting to that sort of ultimate state where you can do lots of fun things in VR with people who aren't even in VR, who are sitting at a desktop. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.